Welcome to the Toronto Rock Athletic Center for the Ontario Series Lacrosse Senior B Championship Final between the Six Nations Rivermen and the Oakville Rock. Hello again, Lance Wynn working alongside JVI Productions. In Game 1, Ryan Lanchbury led the way with 4 goals, and a solid performance by Oakville netminder Nick Rose gave the Rock a 12-10 win. Well, in Game 2, the Rivermen responded with an equally impressive performance in an 11-7 victory to force tonight's deciding Game 3. Winner of this will host the Claire Levesque Trophy and head into this year's President's Cup as the Ontario champions. Starting goalies for tonight's game for the visiting Rivermen. It'll be Troy Holochuk, comes in with a 2-2 record. His goals against average 7.33. He's only given up 26 goals in this playoffs. At the other end will be Nick Rose, 4-0. He's given up 26 goals. His goals against 6.70. Head coaches for Six Nations. It'll be Corey Bombury, Jason Johns, and Roger Weiss. They are the assistant co-coaches. And for Oakville, Matt Sawyer is the head coach. His assistants, John Harrison and Jamie Dubrick. We are underway here with the decider. As off the opening face-off, it'll be possession to the Rivermen. So a huge bounce back in an 11-7 win for Six Nations a couple nights ago in Game 2. And boy, that was the first loss suffered by the Oakville Rock since the first game of their regular season. They have been undefeated up to that point. They were undefeated throughout the playoffs. Well, they got a blemish now, and the Rock now with their first offensive possession of this game. They'll work it around looking for Lanchbury as he will set 10 on the shot clock, swinging around to the left side. Looking for an opening. Marley Angus back in the lineup, a welcome addition back into this Oakville lineup. Wasn't there in Game 1. Still came away with the W, but they were missing a few pieces. Not so right now. Looking to go to work is Andrew Q. Sends over, good bounce shot, steered aside by Holochuk. Another one, top corner. That was a beauty. C&I from Marley Angus. And Oakville's on the board. They lead this 1-0. So take a look, just peeling off. And my apologies, not Marley Angus, but Josh Dawick. And again, another welcome addition. Josh wasn't in the lineup for Game 1. He picks up his first of the game and his third of the season. So Dawick on the board. Oakville strikes first here in Game 3. Off the draw, loose. Rivermen pick it up, and they'll race back down and send it back into the offensive end. Had a chance to speak with both these coaches, and for Six Nations, of course, discipline was high on their list of things to do. Countering the Rock's transition, that was also another factor that they wanted to work on, and they felt like their defense has to stand tall. On the Oakville side, of course, transition offense, a big thing, as trying to work his way in was Lane Smith. Need more from the power play. Apparently from the Oakville Rock coaching staff, they've had numerous attempts but have not been overly successful. We'll give you those numbers, of course, when need be. And, of course, Nick Rose back in as the anchor for this team. Wrong stick side, but a chance, and that's going to be a crease. So good attempt there from Luke Robinson. Didn't have a whole lot to work with on his wrong stick side. Now the Rivermen will bring it back the other way. Doug Paulus out there. He'll shoot it over to Danton Miller. Danton Miller looking to cut through. Over on the right side now. Looking for the flip. Nothing doing there. As Greg Elijah Brown gets some help. That shot stopped by Rose, and he has been a pillar there. And possession now to the Rock. Outlet pass will send away Dan Littner. Littner gets a step. He'll curl back out and wait for the rest of the offense. He'll shoot it back out. Dawick out there. They'll swing it around, and that went off the netting. So Andrew Q wasn't able to handle that. Rivermen now will bring it back the other way. Josh Martin, an offensive threat, playing defensively this time around out there, as well as analyst Doc Stater They work it around to the right side. Back to left, quick shot, and Lane Smith, not quite sure if he was looking for something there, and that's going to be an easy interference call. So a fresh 30 now for the Rivermen to work with. Wes Whitlow out there, another dangerous righty, dumped down. Good defense as not a very good angle from Elijah Brown. They corral the rebound, 15 on the shot clock. Zip it back up. Winter Rivera, he'll dump it back down. That shot couldn't get a whole lot on it. Elijah Brown, stick check at the last second, and now it'll be Q. Q will work it up and send it to the other Q. So 2 Qs in the lineup. Alex and Andrew, and trying to duck in, looking for an open was Lanchberry. Sends that over. Good defensive hold by the Rivermen. They'll scoop it up off the carpet and move it up. Marcus Elvin. Elvin has got numbers with him. Elvin trying inside out. Elvin goes short side. Marcus Elvin ties this game up 1-1. So they talked about transition and countering the Rock transition, and Marcus Elvin, just with good speed, never stopped the feet from moving, and brought it in, got Nick Rose leaning right and put it left. So it's 16:06. We're knotted at 1 here. This, of course, the decider. Winner of this game will represent Ontario as the Ontario champs at the President's Cup. And we will, of course, be speaking with OSL Senior B Commissioner Joe Hiltz in the second period. He'll give us the rundown on everything we can expect at the President's Cup. Q now. He'll tee that up. Stopped by Holochuk. And going to have to move in just a bit. Holochuk has been sharp and on his game. Rivermen trying to counter quick, and that one good shoulder shrug by Nick Rose as he keeps that one from finding the mesh. And the Rock now will work it back into the offensive end. Lanchbury has been good. 9 goals, 13 helpers, averaging 5 points a game in these playoffs. He has been a mainstay. 10 on the shot clock. Bounce shot, top corner. And Zach Kearney lighting the lamp, kid, with his first of the game. First goal of the playoffs. And it's 2-1 for the Rock. And I tell you, good old-fashioned bounce shot off that carpet works almost every time. That's just a good piece of shooting there. Second bouncer that has beaten Holochuk in this game. And a 2-1 Oakville lead. Good crowd on hand here on this Wednesday night. Off the draw, going for a bit of a run is Chris Weir. He's double teamed. They work him over on the half boards, and Rivermen do a good job to corral that, as some great work from Oakley Thomas back in the lineup after missing game 1. So a welcome addition to the Rivermen lineup as they'll set things up on the left side. Dalton Sulver, quiet in game 1. Needs to step up a bit here. Swinging around, Doug Palace looking for something. Kick it back, Lane Smith. Smith, this shot steered aside by Rose. Rebound, gobbled up by the Rock. Good quick transition on the move. Alex Q. Q dumps it over. Almost a Q to Q, but they weren't able to connect. And the Rivermen will counter the other way. Odo Martin swinging around. That sidearm steered aside and up and out of play. So that'll stay right here with the Rivermen. And they'll work with 30 more. Swinging around. Rivera will swing it down to the right side. And there's too much hands-on going on inside that dotted half circle. Possession will go the other way to the Rock. Joey Zabo. He'll bring it into the offensive end. Of course, Joey here with Mom and Dad one more time. And John and Lori, glad to have you around. You and Bradley as well. Another former Milton Maverick. Good to have you in the building. Quick shot, and Lanchbury using the defender as a screen. And boy, they were missing him in game 2. Well, he just picked up his first of the game, his 10th goal of the playoffs. And once again, a good disguise, just changing the angle and going to the low sidearm bounce to find the back of the net. So the Rock with a 3-1 lead here And you got to figure that there's some extra incentive after that loss in game 2, where they felt they were a bit undermanned, but also didn't play as well as they thought they could have. And off the draw, they're going to hold it down and get it into the offensive end with Q. They'll work it over to the left side. Josh Dawick looking for an opening. He'll curl around, swing it around Q. Q looking for a cutter, popping back up is Cam Milligan. Milligan will dump it back. Q again, backhand pass, can't connect. Shot clock winding down. Rivermen will pick it up. Shot clock was about to expire anyway, and now it'll be Justin Martin that'll give way to the Rivermen offense here. Danton Miller gonna have to stand tall here in this game as Miller chased just a little further away from that dotted half circle, swinging on right side. Good hesitation, kick back out. Miller lets it go. Easy one for Rose. Had those wickets closed and the basket in front. And he'll send the outlet pass, and Oakville now will set up their offense. Lintner, half boards, right side. Looking to make a move, gets a couple of screens, swings it back over. Skip pass and looking for Lanchberry. Good job defensively to get in the passing lane, and the Rivermen now battling for it. Marcus Elvin on the carpet, still digging, and he gets some help as David Brock will pick it up, and possession to the Rivermen on a shot clock violation. Shots 9-6 in favor of the Rivermen, but they trail by 2 here. Doug Powless curling around, looking to make a move, bouncing back, 15 on the shot clock. Good defensive rotation there on the screen. Rivera looking for one, dumps it off. Quick shot and a good save by Rose as Dalton Sulver got a good shot away. Rivera fishes that out, and Rivermen now work with another clock. Cutting down, going up, big save, Nick Rose. And he will keep that one laying in the crease. So Nick coming up smelling like roses, looking good here in this first period. Lanchbury will work it on the right side. Looking for an opening, gets a screen, kicks it over Q. Working one-on-one. Good pass. And that backhand attempt wide of the mark from Dawick. And they collect the rebound and work again. Holochuk, good slide over on a quick shot from Robinson. And he'll look now for an outlet and get a little help from his friends. Don't see it too often there, but you see Mason Hill working with a wood stick, as is netminder Holochuk. Sort of a bit of a lost art, as Q will set things up here with the Oakville offense. Looking quick on that left side, dump it down, a big save Holochuk as he slid over perfectly and stopped that from finding the back of the net. Back the other way. And peeling back out is Dockstader, and they'll make their offensive defensive changes here. Whitlow will tiptoe out, swing it around to the right side. Looking for something, 10 on the shot clock, wide of the mark. Rivera couldn't handle that carom. It's picked up though by the Rock. They'll move it up in transition. Don't have the numbers, so a good decision from Brett Hanser to pull that one out and let the rest of the Oakville offense go to work here. Cam Milligan looking to go one-on-one. Q's quick shot, steered aside. Good stick save by Holochuk. Oakville all over that offensive rebound, swinging around, and it's Q. Q, long strides, going to let that one go. Holochuk again, this time left armpit save. And a quick transition toss-up, and thinking better of it was Justin Martin. He'll stay out there on offense. Look to set a screen, and Danton Miller looking up top and just missed that top corner. And instead the Rock now will counter the other way. Sheldon Burns, job well done. He'll retreat. And now they'll work it into half boards. Lintner looking for something. Kick it left side, get it back. Again, Q gets a screen on the run. Q goes sidearm. That's well wide of the mark. That'll go out of play, and possession will go up the other way to the Rivermen. Both teams seem to be feeling each other out, battling offense, defense, and that careless pass was knocked down and deflected. Rose will pick it up, and the Rock now will move it up into the offensive end. Milligan will filter out there with Dawick, and they'll work it across now to Marley Angus. Angus will dump it off back to the left side, looking for an opening, and Kearney swinging around on the run. His shot over the net was Lanchbury, and that'll be possession to Six Nations. And Miller will swing it around. Lane Smith, he will set things up. He, of course, has been the offensive mainstay for the Rivermen. 10 on the shot clock. Rivera trying to bounce his way in, gets closer. Whitlow, flip across and quick stick, but Rose with a big save there on Sulver. And the Rock now will pick it up and bring it into the offensive end. Dawick dumps it off. Quick shot, big save, Holochuk. Stuck that right pad out, kicked that ball aside, and the Rivermen now. So goaltending, keeping Six Nations close here. And stepping into that sidearm and letting it go was Dockstader, and it'll come back the other way. So not a whole lot of second opportunities here in this last 3-4 minutes for either team. And a good read there and picking that up. Not able to hold on to it though. David Brock battling for it. And a reset as the Rock will flip it. But again, another great job. David Brock, outstanding shift defensively as he put a real wrench in the offensive plans of the Rock. He'll stay out there on offense. Swinging around now. Smith, kick it back. Rivera will work it now to Whitlow. Whitlow bounces off a check. Whitlow fakes, ducks back in. Whitlow looking far side, but had it pop out of his stick late. And an interference call is going to give possession to Oakville, and they'll work it up into the offensive end. Lanchbury, he'll swing it around. Him and Dawick will work the two-man game on the right side. Coming out late is Q. Q gets a screen. Q looking for something, dumps it back. Good shot, hard shot from Dawick, but right on target. And a quick outlet pass. Justin Martin, 2-on-2. Martin will curl around, wait for the trailer. Backhand pass on the money. Tried to go short side, but ran out of short and side to Doug Powless. And Oakville now will return the favor. Dumping it in tight. Big save, but a better goal as working in a closet was Zach Kearney, and he picks up his second of the game. So this is counter transition by the Rock, as you can see, beauty pass into Kearney, and Kearney don't waste a whole lot of time, had Holochuk on his knees and just parked that one over the left shoulder. So Zach Kearney has come up big with his first two goals of the playoffs. And they've come in this deciding game. Shots now 15-13 in favor of the Rock. Off the draw, Rock will get possession. Zabo, they'll swing it back around and settle it down just a bit with Burns. Burns will move it up. And the Rock will go to work now. Q, half boards, gets a screen, kicks it back. Lanchbury dumps it inside, and that's a tough pass in there as Littner had a whole lot of traffic to contend with. Flips it back out, quick shot. What a save, Holochuk. As in the dying seconds, Robinson got off a good overhand, but Holochuk was right there to stick out that pad. Don't even know how he saw that. Six Nations now. They'll set back up as we inch toward the 5-minute mark. Whitlow kicks it back out. Sulver swing it around. Danton Miller, little flip, and that's a tough one as couldn't get a whole lot on the shot. And almost a turnover. Some good forechecking by the Rivermen, but the Rock holds strong, and they'll look to get it into the offensive end. So remember, an over and back unless a penalty. And it's Dawick looking for a cutter, gets one, and again the bounce works. Marley Angus this time, he is the recipient, his first of the game, fourth of the playoffs. This is just well executed by the Rock, as you can see. Dawick threading the needle right into the pocket for Marley Angus, and they must know something because they have gone to the bounce on the regular. And the Rock have taken a 5-1 lead here. So it's going to take a whole lot of work. And, of course, we're only in the first period, so plenty of time for the Rivermen. We expect this game to be a bit of a seesaw battle. As we mentioned before, of course, netminder Nick Rose not there for game 2 for the Rock. He won game 1 and stood tall so far here in this game as they hold a 4-goal lead. Off the draw, loose in the circle. Rivermen pick it up. Rivera now. He will scamper to elude a defender, and they'll set things up down in that left corner. Martin. So Martin has reverted back to the offensive side of things. Doug Powless. Shot missed the mark, and here come the Rock now. Trying to get out of traffic, Jordan McKenna. As a defender all over him, McKenna with one arm sheds him. Excellent job there, and it's Lanchbury now. Waiting for the rest of the offense. He'll send it over to Q. Q gets a screen. Q has the middle. Q, top corner. Oh, the Rock are feeling it right now as Q lighting the lamp for the first time in this game. So Q just using his size. Boy, he gets 2 strides on you. He's by the defender, and no bounce this time as he just works that far corner. And it may not be his day in Troy Holochuk, as it looks like Dustin Martin getting his gear on, and Dustin Martin will come in to take over the duties. And if you know anything about this game of lacrosse as a netminder, first thing is don't worry about your goals against average, because this isn't the sport for that. Of course, when you average double-digit goals a game, that's not going to be something that you're going to hang your hat on. Wins and losses certainly, and it's about the saves when it matters, but sometimes a goaltender will just not be on his top of his game and will need a break. Sometimes it's a break, sometimes it's done for the rest of the outing. We'll see here if that's the case for Holochuk. Either way, Dusty Hill between the pipes for the Rivermen, trailing by 5 now, and the Rock with possession. Lanchbury, and you can bet they'll try to test Hill out early. Q, again, same play, same middle, ducks back in, another fake, going to be a delayed penalty call, and I think we're going to have our first penalty of the game, as first power play opportunity will go to the Oakville Rock. And so a slashing call, and it's going to go to Riley Johnson. So the Rock come in with a power play rating of just 39%. The penalty kill for the Rivermen, 72%. This, of course, an area they'd love to improve the Rock. Lanchbury goes to the bounce. So first shot on Dusty Hill is a low bounce, tough to handle for any netminder. And a power play marker extends the lead to 7-1. Just a good job of working it around, and you see Lanchbury changes the angle and I think catches Dusty Hill just a little bit flat-footed. So right now with 3:13 to go here in this first period, it is all Oakville Rock as they've come out with a bit of a chip on their shoulder after that loss in game 2. Of course, the winner will hoist the trophy, the Claire Levesque Trophy, as the Ontario champions and will represent, of course, both teams will be in the President's Cup, but they will come in as the Ontario champs. Going for a run and kicking it well back out was David Brock, and again, Doug Paulus not able to find that net. 7 on the shot clock. Swing it around. Paulus, and again, wide of the mark. And that ball loose. Rivera will shoot it back into that far corner. And I think if you're the coaching staff for the Rivermen, you would love to get out of this period just down 6, look to regroup, and start from scratch in period number 2. Lanchbury looking for an opening. He'll curl back out, swinging around to the left side. Angus out there. Looking for room now is Kearney. And that shot stopped by Hill. And the Rivermen now snap it back up into the offensive end. Solver, he'll slide over to his stick side, working with Danton Miller. He's going to roll off one. Miller, the flip back. Lane Smith, no call, a bit of a high stick, looking to duck under. Keeps that stick floating out there. 8 on the shot clock. Lane Smith will kick it back out. Whitlow, 4 on the shot clock. Whitlow is going to let it go, and a good save by Nick Rose. Had to make one as Whitlow's a sniper, and he can find the back of the net anywhere on that carpet. So first penalty to the Oakville Rock, and it's a legal cross-checking call. It'll go to Bill Hostrauser as the Rivermen will get their first power play attempt of this game. Equally as impressive, they come in with a 24% power play rating, 76% penalty kill for the Rock. So I don't have to be a math major, which I am not, to tell you that those numbers are far from impressive. Lane Smith at the top here. They'll work two-man game. Quick shot there as Solver saw something. Good job on the offensive rebound. They'll get it back at another clock. Changing the angle. Solver, wide of the mark, going to be a race for it. Lane Smith's going to have to work, and he comes away with it. Good job by Lane Smith as Brandon Slade, the speedster, was all over him. Chance here to capitalize. They'll kick it back out, reset. 10 on the shot clock. Danton Miller ducks in. Danton Miller tried to go short side. Nick Rose, good shoulder save again. Fresh clock. We're under the final minute here in this first period. Lane Smith, they're going to need something from him here if they're going to come back. That one off the post and in. So Elijah Brown finds the mark. His first of the game, 7th of the playoffs, comes courtesy the power play. And more importantly, puts a halt on that 6-goal run from the Rock, and it's a 7-2 game. Just a reminder to tune in at the beginning of the second period. We'll have the Senior B OLA Commissioner and Joe Hiltz just to talk about President's Cup off the draw, and that was slippery. I tell you, Rivera. Quick transition goal from the Rivermen, and I tell you, that guy is tricky. You can see off the draw, and good heads-up play, Mike McLaughlin, as he slides one right to Rivera, and Rivera took a little something off on the changeup. May have fooled Nick Rose a bit, and he picks up his first playoff goal here. More importantly, that cuts the deficit now to 4. So if Six Nations can hold here, you got to figure back-to-back goals to end the first period would be big, and these two are going to continue to work in that circle. Possession's going to go to the Rivermen. So a chance here with just under 30 seconds for Six Nations to potentially draw closer. Dusty Hill heads to the bench. They're going to play for the final shot. Extra attacker out there for the Rivermen, Lane Smith. He's going to wait now and let that clock wind down. Expected to go to least under 5 before they decided to take a shot. Whitlow and Smith working a two-man. Dump back down, and a good job to corral that. Going to have to fight for it. Ball loose in the corner, and unfortunately not able to connect. So 20 minutes in the books here, the deciding game 3. The OSL Senior B Championship, 7-3, Oakville Rock. We'll take a break. We'll be back with period number 2. Welcome back to the Toronto Rock Athletic Center as we get set for second period action. Deciding game 3 here, of course, on the OSL Senior B Championship between the Six Nations Rivermen and the Oakville Rock. Of course, it was the Rock that came away with a win in game number 1. And Six Nations bounced back handily, 11-7 to take game 2. Game 1 was 12-10 Oakville, 11-7 for the Rivermen, and now here we go for period number 2. Shots 2017 in favor of the Rock, and opening face-off again. Battle ensues inside that circle. As you can see, Brett Hansor and Riley Johnson, and neither ready to budge here as that ball finally pops out, and Rivera with the good hand scoops it up off the carpet. Triple team, no. He'll bounce off 1, bounce off 2, flip it over, and swing pass, and not able to connect was Doug Powless. And the Rock now will look to counter. Backdoor. Lanchbury had a notion, peeled back out, kicked it out. Good fake duck in, tried to go short side, but a good save there from Dusty Hill as Brandon Slade tried to add another to the Oakville tally, and instead the Rivermen now will slow it down and set things up. Elijah Brown working one-on-one, 15 on the shot clock. Cues on him, gets a screen, goes to the bounce. That's going to be a legal screen, and a quick outlet pass will send away the Rock. And a dump pass, and working it tight, slides its way in. So Dan Littner found the opening, took the feed, and buried his third of the playoffs. McKenna with a good pass here as he slipped it to the right trailer, and you can see just floating through that middle. And initially Dusty Hill moving left, had to stop to try to go back to the right, but it was too late. So the Rock strike first here in the second period now. It's an 8-3 lead. Like to take a minute to send a shout out to the Porter family, from Rich Porter and the Rivermen. Of course, Rich does a whole lot of things for the Rivermen, the equipment manager, but he is the do-all, do-everything guy, and boy, he's been around this game for a long time, so a pleasure to chit-chat with him, and appreciate you. And, of course, once again, big shout-out to the Porter family. Q will roll that across, and Dawick will set things up. Q will take it back on the return. Q looking for something, dumps it back. Another quick pass. Kearney with a shot, stopped though by Hill. Looking for a quick transition. McLaughlin didn't see that flip. And Q2 will pick that up. And now it'll be Kearney. They'll work at the half board, so the other half of the Q. Q had a step, thought better of it, dumped it over. And looking to slide that in was Dawick. And Josh Dawick ran out of real estate, and the Rivermen now. Solver has been quiet in the first period. They're going to need something from him, as they're going to need something from Lane Smith. Swinging around. And that pass to Danton Miller goes awry, and moving in transition is McKenna. McKenna in a race, and a big save, Dusty Hill. Stuck out that left glove. And remember, that save may be a difference maker here. Lane Smith half boards on the left. Zips it across. Chance here, waltzing right in, and not quite sure that Elijah Brown shouldn't have taken that shot. Either way, here come the Rock. Back door. Lanchbury, he'll pull it back out, and he'll wait for the rest of the Oakville offense. Time on the side now of the Rock. No need to rush or hurry anything. Lanchbury, 10 on the shot clock, dumps it in, and this time not able to get it, but the rebound picked up, and in traffic, big save, Dusty Hill. So a golden opportunity for Cam Milligan. Wasn't able to beat Dusty Hill, and McLaughlin will bring it back, set it up now for Wes Whitlow. Whitlow, one man to beat, gets a screen. Backhand pass, beauty pass, but not able to hang on to it was Rivera. And the Rock now with a quick outlet pass into the offensive end. It's Q. So Alex and Andrew Q. So no need to differentiate. Both outstanding players. One more offense, one more defense. Stepping into one, Lanchbury. Oh my. Did he step into that underhand? His second goal of this game. He's got 11 goals in the playoffs, and this is just a scorer shooting the ball the way it's supposed to be done. So the Rock continue to roll here, a 9-3 lead as they have spread the gap one more time. Back to 6 goals, and the Rivermen gonna need a little something. McLaughlin in a race for it. And the speedster's going to come away with it. He'll race it and move it up in a hurry. Solver, hesitation, curls back, thinks about it again. Zip it back out, Rivera. He'll swing it around. They'll work it left side. Get it back. And going top corner, so trying to put a Band-Aid on things. And doing the job is Elijah Brown. So I said he should have shot it the last time. Well, he shot it this time. So a good job. Top of the dotted circle goes far side on Rose. Elijah Brown has got 2 in this game. So 2 of the Rivermen's 4 belong to Elijah Brown. And they needed to put an end to 2-goal back-to-back goals to open up this period from the Rock, and started to become a mountain to climb for the Rivermen. Again, another epic battle inside that circle. And a flip back out. Rivermen had it, lost it, had it, and the Rock now will pick it up. So a whole lot of hacking going on, but that's the way things roll, as countering the other way is Hansor, and he'll get it up. And when we have our first break in the action, I'll bring in the Senior B OSL Commissioner and Joe Hiltz. Big save there. And he'll join us as it's like a reunion in the booth there, Mr. Hiltz. I commented on his very impressive tan. It'll never be quite as good as mine, but that's okay. We can all try, as Whitlow dances back out, swings it around. Smith, Lane Smith looking for something. Found no one. Karam, though, goes off, and Whitlow fighting for it on the carpet, 10 on the shot clock. Whitlow, great pickup. Danton Miller, and Danton Miller feathers that one in the top corner. So, boy, give up 2, get 2 back. The Rivermen back in this game now, 9-5. And as we see the replay, let me bring in the commissioner. Usually you're my broadcast part, but you're just picking up titles after titles, bud. So
you know, trying to stay busy.
I hear you. Well, good to have you, and good to have you involved in the game. And when you talk about the Senior B here, let's just talk really about this series first. And you got to be happy. We got a deciding game going here.
Yeah, you know what? We put it at 2 out of 3 just because we're hosting President's Cup this year, and you know, we didn't want our teams to go there, you know, banging for 7 or whatever. So 2 to 3. I'm glad it's gone 3. You know, it's forcing. You know, we got a good game going on here. Game 2, Six Nations took that back home. They went back and they were determined to win, and here we are.
So tell me something, just for some of the viewers out there that don't know, what's the difference really between the major series lacrosse and the Senior B? Because clearly there's no shortage in the caliber of play.
I think it's just the. You know, we have 4 good teams here, and you know, and we got 2 mediocre. But you know what, we're getting there. We're getting better. We're hoping to grow again next year. The difference is, you know what, just the talent level itself. Here we have some true Senior B guys. mixed in with some MSL guys, you know, on a lot of teams, right? Not just these two. Where the MSL, you know what, they're the hired guns, and you know what, they're the pro guys coming back to play in the summertime for the Man Cup.
Well, I appreciate you handling that because that was a little bit of a curveball I threw you there. So well done in your part. Let's talk President's Cup because, of course, both these two teams will be there. But for those that don't know, just give me a little bit of an overview on the President's Cup and talk a little bit about hosting.
You know, obviously we're excited to host. You know, we're here at the Rock Center. You know, we're going to be jamming them in, hopefully, nice and close, and have a good crowd for the full week. President's Cup's a battle. You know, it's not a 4 to 7. You don't get days off. You play every day. Sometimes you play 2 a day, right? You could play Sunday to Saturday and not have a day off, right? So you know what? You got to be looking after yourself. You got to be ready to go.
What type of format do they use for the President's Cup? Is it round robin or is it standings or?
Yeah, for this year there's 7 teams, so it's like a full round robin. Everybody plays everybody, which means, you know what, one day you're playing 2 games. So you know what, you better get some rest and you better get, you know, some fluids in you and be ready to play, because if you're not, that second game that night is going to be a tough one.
What has been some of the challenges that you guys have had to face in putting on an event of that magnitude?
Just finding out who's coming to begin with, right? You know, Ganawagi was out, then they were back in, which is fine. You know, we had 6 teams, we had a perfect schedule. Ganawagi comes back in, we got a 7-team schedule, we got to change it up a little bit. But at the end of the day, you know what? It's gonna be a fun week. There's not going to be a team here that you don't want to watch play.
Well, and that's what I was going to ask you. What can the fans expect to see?
Well, you're looking at Ladner coming in with Del Bianco, probably the best goalie in the world right now in box. You know, with that team, you got Jeff Teat probably ending up in you know, well, no, not he's going to Langley for that. You know, you got Austin Shanks out west. You got Shawnee Evans in Akwesasne. They're playing Game 6 tonight. Akwesasne could clinch that tonight. They're up 3-2. So, you know, there's an abundance of guys out there that have played pro and have played high level that people are going to want to watch.
Just want to interject because Andrew Q just parked this one in the top corner, and that was a beauty as he stepped into that overhand and found the mark for his second of the game. And so, Joe, I won't hold you up because I know you're like the mayor here. I just want to know, are there any final words or final thoughts that you want to extend to the viewers out there, just to get them buying some tickets and get them here? Just a reminder, August 27th to September 2nd is the President's Cup here at the track.
You know what? If you want to come and you want to watch lacrosse, good game after good game after good game, there's going to be 3 games a day that are going to be competitive. There ain't going to be no blowouts. There's, you know what, the teams are coming here to win. You know, and again, it's a marathon. It's not about coming out the first day and winning the game and thinking, oh yeah, we're off to a good start, because in day 4, how many injuries do you have, right? It's all about taking care of yourself, you know, looking after yourself, and yeah, you know what, this is the tournament. This is the one. These guys are grown men. These guys aren't teenagers going out and playing. These guys got to look after their bodies. You know what? And they're here. They're here to win.
Well, listen, Joe Hiltz, we are looking forward to the President's Cup. Looking forward to of course, the remainder of this game. But an outstanding job you've done. You're also one of the head coaches of Oshawa Outlaws of the Arena Lacrosse League. So you're everywhere, man. I tell you. So it's good to have you as part of the game, and good to have you as my broadcast
Don't
partner
forget my
as well.
Irish heritage.
I'm not even bringing anything else up like that. All right,
Hey?
we ain't talking politics. All right, we're only talking tans. Okay.
That's absolutely. No, you know what? Thanks for having me. You know what? Looking forward to the good finish here, and obviously we're looking forward to a fantastic President's Cup. I'm sure Oakville's going to do a great job here at the track. So if you want to see some good lacrosse, come on out.
There you have it, Joe Hiltz, commissioner of the Senior B here, and he, of course, will be front and center the President's Cup. Thanks very much, Joe Hiltz. Have a good one, and look forward to getting you in the booth again for a little longer. All right. 10-5 now, under 10 minutes to go here in the second as that shot gets deflected and out of play. So Andrew Q has done his job. And I want to thank Joe Hiltz for taking the time out to visit with us here, just to keep things on the straight and narrow and keep us informed about the President's Cup, as both these two teams, of course, will be involved. The Rock now will move it up into the offensive end, set things up. Brandon Slade will curl back out and can't find anyone, so a quick turnover. Riley Johnson will pick it up and he'll give it right back, so in a very giving mood, but Rock, though, on a violation. Possession now to the Rivermen. Shots 29-24 in favor of Oakville. And the Rivermen now back to work. Dalton Solver. He'll curl back out. Plenty of time in the shot clock. Gets a step going. Tried to go middle, but great stick check late. And numbers now for the Rock. 3-on-2. Q puts on the brakes, and what a save by Dusty Hill, as Q was looking for that same top corner. He just buried one. Dusty Hill, though, up to the task this time around. They'll set it up, swinging half boards. Q working one-on-one, blows by a defender, goes to the bounce, stopped by Hill as he had those wickets closed up. Q was looking 5-hole, nothing doing there. Here come the Rivermen. Trying to close the gap here, trailing by 5. Rivera will swing it around. Elijah Brown working one-on-one. Elijah Brown. Oh, boom, look who stepped into the room. Elijah Brown one more time, his third of the game. Just a good individual effort, as you can see. Brown using his athleticism, ducks pass on the reverse, and just a quick job to get the hands to his strong side and park it in that corner. We've got ourselves a 10-6 game. If you tuned in early and thought that the Rivermen were going to go away quietly, then this must be your first time visiting, because there is no give up in either of these two teams. Ball loose. Rivermen battling for it. They've got the numbers. They come away with it. Oakley Thomas. And Oakley Thomas in defensive role here. Also a dangerous offensive player. And now Rivera working on that right side. Rivera tiptoes by a defender, runs into 2, curls back out. Solver swinging around. They'll work it left side. Danton Miller. Miller looking for the flip. He does, but to no one. Going to be a race now as Elijah Brown tries to knock it back, but instead Jamison Dilks will win that battle. And the Rock now, with 7.5 to go here, will set things up on offense. Kearney out there with Q. Milligan filters out late. Q looking for a step. Good defense to close that off. Quick shot from Lanchbury. Doesn't get through. Stick check again, and it's a good one. And it's Marcus Elvin again in transition. Q runs him down. Elvin swings it around, and good hands there by Solver. Lane Smith with some room. Smith tried to go low. Big save, Nick Rose. Here come the Rock. Kearney. Good fake. He'll peel back out, and good to see Kearney having a solid game. Of course, his dad and brother in the house here, as they usually are. And a turnover will give it right back to the Rivermen. Putting on the brakes, and here comes Wes Whitlow. Whitlow, crafty, 10 on the shot clock. Ducks in. Whitlow, good job of cross-checking. Didn't allow Whitlow to get a clean shot off. And now it's Dirks. Dirks sends it over, not the best pass. And that one almost scooped up. Rivermen, instead, it slid over. And Lanchbury will scoop it and settle it up. No reset on the clock. 10 on the shot clock. Q. Swinging around. Quick shot there, Lanchbury. Wide of the mark, and Q will just send it back the other way. And Six Nations bench claiming that should be a delay call, but I think he got that there before the whistle blew. And Rivera now will work it to the half boards. Elijah Brown. gets a screen, tries to duck in, gets two, flips it back out. Looking for an opening, Solver gets one, leans in, splits two, wrong stick side. Good save, Nick Rose. Ball loose. Gobbled up by Doc Stater, and he'll send it out to Rivera for a fresh clock. Big here if the Rivermen can close to within 3. Whitlow. Skip, 10 on the shot clock. In tight. Rose again with a big save. Whitlow had it. Still battling for it. And he'll flip it out, Rivera. So another reset as Six Nations now with some momentum here. Under 5 to go. Rivera. He'll kick it across. Paulus bounces off a check. Paulus has room. Paulus goes to the far side. Dougie Paulus finally finds the mark. 10-7 game. Just some relentless pressure here by the Rivermen, and Paulus bounces off one, and this is just a tricky shot. As you can see, Nick Rose thought he had the angle covered, and he had the short side covered, but forgot about the long side, and that's why we've got a 10-7 game. So another run here by the Rivermen as they close the gap now to 3. The problem is they've gone on a run, but they've also given up a run or 2, and hence the reason they're battling their way back. Szabo, he'll look and hang out there for a little bit on offense before heading to the bench and let the rest of the Rock offense to work. Milligan will swing it around. Angus, kick it back, 8 on the shot clock. That one's ripped, stopped by Dusty Hill. Hill will pick it up, has some outlet, and Hill can lay it out nicely, and he does. David Brock, he'll run it down, and they'll work deep in the offensive end. And left that stick hanging out. Good job, though, to recover in Doc Stater. Danton Miller trying to slide his way in. Miller, flip back, quick one, in tight, good save, Nick Rose. Ball loose again. Miller battling for it in there. And Danton Miller with a quick scoop. He'll come away with it, the flip up, and they'll regroup, set it up with Solver. So the Rivermen here holding on, and it's Whitlow. Whitlow. And a double fake, ball hung there. Good job to scoop it up, a wrong stick side. Paulus, kick it back out. Lane Smith, he'll let it go right on target. Again, another offensive rebound. This time it's courtesy Elijah Brown. We're at the 3-minute mark here, period number 2. Lane Smith was headed the other way. Good job, though, to bail him out as Paulus. And now Smith. Smith one-on-one. Steps back. That one off the post. Whitlow will track down the loose ball. So once again, a reset for the Rivermen. And they'll work it right side with Rivera. Rivera gets a screen. Work with Elijah Brown. Ducks in. Rivera underhand. Easy save for Rose. And Rose will loft it up and send away Sheldon Burns. Burns, think better of it. Good transition defense from the Rivermen. And now running into some traffic was Luke Robinson. Manages to get it back, and he'll loft it over to Q. Q will settle it down. 10 on the shot clock. Q one-on-one. Oakley Thomas on him. Q goes to the bounce. That goes off the post. Rebound picked up by Lanchbury, and they'll reset. Fresh clock here for the Rock. We're under 2 minutes to go. Second period. Half boards. Kearney skipped it across. Lanchbury gets a handle, resets it, kicks it, hesitation, looking down low. Q, loose ball, 10 on the shot clock. Q lets it go. Oh, that was perfectly placed by Q. I tell you, Andrew Q has been on Q and on par here in this game. That's his third, and everything that he has balls to twine with has been pinpoint accuracy. and he's been feeling it today. So a big goal for Oakville restores that 4-goal cushion with 1:40 to go here, period number 2. Good crowd on hand here at the Toronto Rock Athletic Center enjoying this one. And just a reminder, of course, President's Cup, August 27th, September 2nd on the JVI YouTube channel. Make sure you tune in. The best players in the world will be in full effect. Angus will swing it back out. Milligan. They'll work together, left side, kick it back out. That shot gets knocked down by Angus and lofted out, and running under it, Justin Martin. Martin goes to the bounce. How you like me now, Justin Martin? First of the game, 5th of the playoffs, and there is no substitute for speed. As you can see here, he just zips through and splits 2 defenders, and if a Q can't catch you, you know you're moving. As he goes to the bounce to beat Nick Rose. So 11-8 as the Rivermen answer to close to within 3. Shots even, 33 apiece. As we're at the final minute here, period number 2. Ball loose off the draw. Angus battling for it. Rivermen had it, lost it, and then still lost it, and the Rock now come away with it. So big possession now for the Oakville Rock here, and Angus chased out by a defender. He'll swing it around. Good job to haul that one down by Littner, and he'll kick it across to the right side. Lanchbury looking for an opening, finds Q. 5 in the shot clock. He lets it go. That goes off a defender, and that's going to give the Rivermen possession now, and they're going to call a timeout with 17.6 seconds to go here in this second period, and they will have the final possession and a chance here to get the final shot of the period, potentially close the gap, trailing by 3. So it'll be interesting to see here what the coaching staff diagrams up. Of course, the Rivermen coaching by committee, as they have assistant coaches in Jason Johns, Corey Bombury, and Roger Weiss. Of course, some outstanding talent in that coaching staff, never mind. Now doing what they do and working with this fine group of men here in the Rivermen. On the Oakville side, of course, an outstanding coaching staff with Matt Sawyer at the helm, John Hersham, and of course Jamie Dubrick working side by side. And here we go, net empty for the Rivermen. Nant Miller and Lane Smith will work it. Whitlow out there as well, as is Elijah Brown. And 5 on the game clock. Swing around, gonna have to hurry. There's the shot off the crossbar. So perfectly executed by the Rivermen. Elijah Brown rings it off the iron, and 40 minutes are in the books here at the track. 11-8 in favor of Oakville. We'll be back with a final 20 minutes after this short break. Welcome back to the Toronto Rock Athletic Center as we get locked and loaded for third period action. 11-8 the score in favor of the Oakville Rock here. This, of course, the deciding game 3. These two teams tied at 1 game apiece. It was the Oakville Rock winners in game 1, 12-10. The Rivermen responded with an 11-7 win in game 2, and here we are now, 20 minutes to play here to determine the Ontario champion, Senior B. And off the draw, it'll be Justin Martin and the Rivermen that control. Rivera will swing it around. They'll work it to Whitlow on that right side. Filter back out, swing it around now to Elijah Brown. Paulus. And that shot from Rivera, saved by Rose, but Rivera tracks down the carom. And another clock here for the Rivermen. Getting a step is Duckstader, and now's a good time for him to stand and deliver, pick up his first of the game. So exactly what the Rivermen coaching staff were looking for, a quick early goal here in the third to close the gap, and that's just a good, quick underhand from Dockstader that surprised Nick Rose and found that far corner. And we've got ourselves a 2-goal game here. And like I said, if you thought that the Rivermen were going to go quietly into the night, that's just not the way they operate. And off the draw, Oakley Thomas does a good job to corral that. And they now will hold it in their end and casually and methodically work it into the offense. Good forechecking, no. Lane Smith, he'll work it into the offensive end. Defender all over him and Adam J. And he'll dump it off. And Elijah Brown working in close. That goes off the post. Whitlow and the Rivermen just seem to have some jump in their step. Delay penalty coming to the Rock here. Extra attacker out for the Rivermen. 15 on the shot clock. Danton Miller has room. Tried to go far side and couldn't find the mark. So just the second power play opportunity for the Rivermen. They're 1 for 1. So they'll get a chance here. Only been 2 penalties. This is the third penalty in this game. And if you were at game 2, boy, there was a whole host. Game 1 as well. So this game 3 has been well played. Both teams, the focus, of course, putting the ball in the net and not spending any time in the box. So Joey Szabo to the penalty box, and a chance now for the Rivermen to close the gap. Lane Smith out there at the top, working with Elijah Brown, and boy, did Dalton Solver unload there. First of the game, 10th of the playoffs. Second power play goal for the Rivermen, and it's an 11-10 game. You can see him step into that one, and Dalton Solver, big individual, as he put everything into that shot. And a good solid overhand finds the mark. So a 1-goal game here, still early in this third period, and just gives you an idea that both teams, Six Nations 2 for 2 with the power play, and the Rock 1 for 1. So might be a good idea for both teams to stay out of the penalty box, and now the Rock will look to regroup and set things up. Send it down to Launchbury. He's been quiet. Q has been outstanding in this game. Dump off, quick shot, stopped by Dusty Hill, and Dusty Hill has been great in relief of Troy Holochuk, and Justin Martin will give way. They'll set things up. Good job to elude a tackle in Dockstader, and Danton Miller just too much on that screen and roll. And Adam J will make sure everything's all right. Offense now to work with Zach Kearney. Kearney will swing it around to Milligan. Milligan been quiet. No look pass in the air. Almost a great finish by Kearney. but Dusty Hill had the angle covered, and now the Rivermen. Mike McLaughlin going to have a race with Nick Rose. Rose flips it up and gets it to Lanchbury, and he'll bring it into the offensive end. So it's tight time now, 1-goal lead for the Rock. They've led by as many as 6. On the curl, Kearney looking for that screen and roll, but nothing doing with Angus, and the Rivermen now with a chance. Riley Johnson not able to corral it. Good job by Kearney on the back check. He's going to have to head to the bench for a breather. And the Rock now will work it into the offensive end. Lintner will send it back over, and it'll be Josh Dawick that will get it back. Looking for the screen, dump down, and Dawick's going to have to run this down with no time on the shot clock, and possession to the Rivermen. So a good defensive stand for Six Nations as they hold strong and don't allow a quality shot. They'll get a chance now to work on offense. Doug Powless dumps it off. Whitlow skips it. Lane Smith, no look, and almost a beauty quick stick finish, but Rivera wasn't able to get a whole lot on that finish. And good job by the officials to keep things tame, but let the two teams decide who's going to come away with the Ontario Championship here. Q, half boards, left side, looking to work. Q, dancing in. Q to the bounce one more time. Oh, baby, Q has been deadly. He's got 4 in the game. Might have to consider some sort of double team, because this guy, when he gets a little bit of room, he has been bulging the twine on the regular. And it's 2-goal cushion restored for the Rock, but with under 15 and a half, there's a lifetime to go yet in this game. Off the draw, possession to the Rock. And Q again will set things up and almost has it taken away. Good job to recover by Robinson, and now they'll reset it on that left side. Angus with a good hesitation was looking for Q on the roll, but there was none. And now Dusty Hill get out of the crease, has Oakley Thomas. Thomas now will move it. 2 passes, and it's in the stick of Rivera. Rivera will give way, and it's Powless. Powless, he'll dump it back on a bad pass. Chance now for the Rock in transition. And a penalty going to come here as Hofstadter does a good job to take it to the net, and he comes up a little gimpy. And the penalty on the play. See who the guilty party is, as so the penalty box not open. Kyle Kennery, the crew chief, so it's a penalty shot here for Q, and that's the result. Q, Dusty Hill. And Q buries it. So make it look a little more casual. So a penalty shot results in Q's 5th goal of the game. And you talk momentum, boy, that's big for the Rock. And you can see here Q calm, cool, and collected. Just making that look easy, as he's been finishing all game. So to no surprise, one more time, shots 38-37 in favor of Six Nations. And off the draw. Again, Rivermen battling for it. Rock, though, they'll come away with it. Good job on the scoop. It's Angus. Good hesitation to avoid a defender, and he gets it into the offensive end. They'll set it up with Kearney. Kearney will flip. Lanchbury now will look for some room and has some. Ducks in on one. Goes to that far side. Steered aside by Dusty Hill. Rebound, Angus. They'll set it up again now with Q. Working behind the net. Lanchbury looking for a cutter, had Angus, but that was picked off. Good job by Justin Martin. Hodo Martin. And now he'll move it up to Whitlow. Whitlow, I'd say he's on his wrong stick side, but equally good with both hands. And now Rivera will work at half boards. Trying to lean in, Sulver. Changes direction, curls back around. Sulver, kick it back out, Rivera. 5 on the shot clock. Rivera dumps it. Was looking for Whitlow, and no call on the takedown as Whitlow took a check from behind, and possession no belongs to the Oakville Rock. Q. Oakley Thomas on him. Q gets a step, blows by him this time. Good save, Dusty Hill. And he'll look for an outlet, and a quick one will move the Rivermen ahead. Paulus gets a screen, thinks better of it, waits for Lane Smith. Smith has been quiet in this game. Quick shot, Rivera. Rebound. Rivermen, no reset, 10 on the shot clock. Danson trying to get in. Elijah Brown dumps it back off, and a diving attempt. Again, no reset will be a shot clock violation, so Dockstader tried to do a crease dive, couldn't do it successfully, and they ran out of time as the Rock now will be very deliberate here as we're 12 and a half minutes away. Q puts on the hesitation, extra step, curl around. Q sets the feet, dumps it off, and Lanchbury with a shot, but a good save again, Dusty Hill. So the deficit's still 3 as the Rivermen still in reach here, plenty of time. Whitlow dancing, pulls it back out, dumps it down low, working Elijah Brown, trying to use his size and wasn't able to get a good shot. And a good job by Joey Zabo as Zabo hurdles a defender and remains on his feet. He'll stay out there on offense. Working it on the half boards. Lintner, kick it back out, swing it around to the left. 8 on the shot clock. Marley Angus, horse collared, no call. And the Rivermen now the other way. Mason Hill will retreat. Dockstader now will send it over, and it's Danton Miller. Miller. Kick it out, Lane Smith. Smith, chase back out, swings it to the right side, Rivera. Elijah Brown, 8 on the shot clock. Dockstader, he'll bounce out of a couple. Great stick check there, regains it, but shot clock is going to wind down, so outstanding defense from the Rock as they hold strong. And now they'll work it into the offensive end. This game has become much more deliberate here. Milligan will swing it around. They'll work it to the left side, screen and roll, and had it, lost it, and then lost it. Was Andrew Q, and in a blink of an eye, here come the Rivermen. Justin Martin has a screen, tiptoe around. Martin, a good flip in tight, but that one's stopped by Rose. Palace was in tight there and couldn't get a whole lot on it, couldn't get the arms extended. And Whitlow in the middle of things, but possession will belong to the Rock. Dilks. And Whitlow will put on his own full court pressure and draw a penalty. So you could sort of see that one coming. The writing was on the wall as Whitlow, frustrated, was not happy with Dilks, and a delayed penalty is going to give the Rock another power play unless they go to find the back of the net here, and that play is whistled down, and for just the second time in this game, the Oakville Rock will go to the man advantage, slashing the call to Whitlow. 1-for-1 with a man advantage are the Rock, in what's been a very well-played game up to this point. So Launchbury now is working out there with Q, along with Josh Dawick. And dump down, quick pass, kick out, Q. Plenty of time. Everyone's going to get a touch here. Q tried to snap another skip. Good gobble up and shot attempt from Lintner, but his shot was wide, and now the Rivermen will look to move it up. David Brock tried to go up top. Rebound, Danton Miller tried to feather that, and he did. That was a crafty play from Danton Miller. Second of the game, and you know you got to change things up if you're going to beat Nick Rose. And good offensive effort, but it was beauty footwork by Danton Miller to take that carom and spin at the same time, and a quick release low to beat Nick Rose, and that'll close the gap now to 2. 9:15 to go here. Third period deciding game 3. Ontario Championship on the line here. Shots are 41-39 in favor of the Rivermen, and off the draw, possession belongs to the Rock. Lanchbury will quarterback this offensive set out there with the usual suspects in Q, Angus, Dawick, and that one's loose. Lintner also out there. He's battling for it in that corner, and instead it's going to be Martin that comes away with it. Beauty pass up ahead. Chance here. Justin Martin. And took the pass from Hodo, and the other Q now will step up, and Lanchbury will be in no hurry with 35 seconds left in the man advantage. And that one from way out, stopped by Hill. Hill now will look to let one go, and he does, and it's on the money. Solver, one man to beat, but can't beat Nick Rose, and it'll come back the other way. So a good transition opportunity for the Rivermen. Gets thwarted by Rosie, and now again dying seconds here of the Rivermen penalty, and the teams will be back to full strength. We're under 8 minutes to go here. Quick shot wide of the mark from Dawick. No reset. 5, Lanchbury looking for something wide of the mark. Rebound, and it's the Rivermen that have it, and it'll be possession as it will go now to Six Nations. Whitlow back out there working alongside of Paulus. Paulus lost it, and a good body check from Miller, but it gets ahead. A chance here for the Rock, and they pick the corner. Oh my, Brandon Transition Slade getting the job done with his 5th playoff goal. So, Brandon Slade, where have you been? As you can see, no one's going to catch him from there, and he parks it in the top corner on Dusty Hill. So a big goal. Couldn't have come at a better time for Brandon Slade and the Rock. And it's a 14-11 game. So Holstrasser picks up the helper on a beauty lead pass, and again off the draw, Rivera fighting for it. Loose, Rivermen get it, flipped away, lost it. Oakville Rock had it, they lost it, now they have it again. Lost it, still have it, on the carpet, And somehow almost coming away with it, but turning the corner are the Rivermen and Hodo Martin. So if ever there was a time to answer, I'd say now's the time for the Rivermen. Rivera sizing things up, looking for an opening, bounces off one, thinks better of that, pulls it back out, 10 on the shot clock, bad pass. And that rebound's picked up. Good job there, Joey Zabo, headman, 2-on-2. And a good job to knock that down as teeing one up was Burns. And his shot got deflected and never found its way to the net. Rod Squire will give way now, and it's Whitlow. Could use a little something out of Wes Whitlow here, could the Rivermen. Work it back. Rivera, no look, kicks it back out. Lane Smith also been quiet on the score sheet. Whitlow bounces off one, gets it. 6 on the shot clock, throws it into traffic. Doc Stater in there, but instead the Rock will just shimmy it out, and they will own possession here. And they'll work it with Cam Milligan. Milligan dancing around. He'll float it back out. They'll work it left side with Q. Q gets another screen. Rolls off one. Pulls it back out. Behind the net. Bullet pass. Kick back out. Milligan. Milligan sidearm steered aside. Good save by Dusty Hill. Smothers the rebound. And now the Rivermen will move it up. Solver out there working with Miller, Rivera, and filtering out late is Paulus. Miller swings it, Rivera. Elijah Brown also in the mix. 10 on the shot clock. Rivera gets some room, goes to the underhand. Nick Rose, though, as usual, right where he should be, positioned perfectly to handle that shot. Lanchbury is going to trot it over the timeline. Time on the side of the Rock here. And you can bet they'll try to work this shot clock all the way down. Kearney with 12 on the shot clock, kicks it out. Dawick had his stick checked, and that pass went to no one. Rivermen now will collect it and look to move it up, trailing by 3. Doc Stater. He has been tricky. Ducking in, and good save by Nick Rose as Paulus from point blank. And now it's Zabo. Zabo's going to put on the Jets, and he's going to hold up, wait a minute, in the offensive end and flip it back. They'll work it with Milligan. Milligan almost had it stolen, and he did. Justin Martin goes to the shot, saved by Nick Rose. Oh, Rosie baby, keeping his team and keeping the lead with the Rock. Bad pass results in a turnover, and a delay penalty going to be coming to the Rock. And Hill will head to the net. Extra attacker now on for the Rivermen. Delayed penalty coming here. Smith. 10 on the shot clock. Smith's shot goes off the other Q's helmet, and it'll be a holding call that will give the Rivermen their third power play opportunity of this game. And you can see there, as you can say that you didn't do it, but we definitely did. And now 2 for 2 with a man advantage are the Rivermen, and I tell you, they could use something here. Running out of time. Just over 3 minutes to go. Paulus, the quarterback. Smith and Danton Miller on that left side. Paulus steps in. That goes off a defender. No reset. 10 on the shot clock. Paulus steps into one right on target. Rose will leave that right there. Well, he sure softens that ball up, I tell you. And over the timeline now. And going to go for a run. Chris Weir, he has had an outstanding series. Lintner dumps it off. Angus, double team, pops it out and almost found a cutting Lintner. And that's going to be a shot clock violation. Possession out of the Rivermen with just over a minute to go in the man advantage. We're under 2.5 to go here in game 3, the decider. One team's going to hoist the trophy and be crowned Ontario champs. The other will have to look for the President's Cup to extract some revenge. That rebound loose, flipped out, and a chance now. Brandon Slade. Slade again, bulge in the twine. Brandon Slade, transition number 1. Second of the game for Slade, and you can see on the quick outlet. And once he set his sights on that ball, he ran on that, checked the defender, and went 5-hole with the bounce. So a short-handed marker surrendered by the Rivermen. And it's a big one, as that may be just what the Rock need here to seal this one. But we're at the 2-minute warning here, and off the draw, it's the Rock with possession. And you can bet they'll be in no hurry here. Good job by McKenna. He's going to go for a little loop-de-loop run, and chasing him hard is Justin Martin. Gives way now, Luke Robinson. Robinson, 2 defenders on him. Robinson splits 2. Robinson gets 3, gets taken to the carpet. They roll on him, and it'll be the Rivermen now with possession. Under a minute and a half. Gonna have to hurry now. There's no time for a whole lot. Gonna have to take it to the net. Need some shots, Rivermen. Paulus dumps it off, and 10 on the shot clock. Elijah Brown, screen and roll, and they bury one. So well executed screen and roll. Dalton Solver, his second of the game. And with 1:09 left, the deficit back to 3. Great feed from Elijah Brown on the money to Solver, and in that tight caliber of these guys, boy, it's going to be in the back of that net in a blink of an eye. Off the draw, and you can bet that Brent Hanser is not going to be in any hurry. You're going to try to keep that one close, and fished out. And a good job by the Rock to gain possession here. And they're going to try and kill this last minute. They're less than a minute away from the Ontario Championship. Senior B, Lanchbury. He's going to hold it, and they're going to dump it now. Q's going to run under that Q, and that could be the dagger. As what a game from Andrew Q. 6th goal of the game, including a penalty shot marker. And he has just been phenomenal. So 37.2 seconds, 16-12 the score. And I mean, I don't want to pull out a crystal ball or anything, but things looking a little dim for the Rivermen right here, as off the draw and going for a run, a long run, will be the Rock. They'll be in no hurry to even move it up, as they'll work it in their own end and make the Rivermen chase. And differential of about 6 seconds between the shot and game clock, 10 on the shot clock. And the Rock will just loft it in the corner, and they have put together an outstanding game plan. The Rock coaching staff, they get the job done as the Oakville Rock. The best record in the regular season, they win the Claire Levesque Trophy. They are the Ontario Senior B champions. So hats off to the Oakville Rock as they put together 3 solid periods. They led 7-3 after 1, 11-8 after 2. Couple of quick goals by the Rivermen to open the third, but to no avail. 16-12 the final. They win the series 2-1. They will go in to the President's Cup as the Ontario champs for 2023. Great sportsmanship on a game. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back with the trophy presentation. Okay. Welcome back. We'll send it down to Commissioner Joe Hiltz with presentation of the trophy to the champions. So there you have it. The Oakville Rock are the 2023 OSL Senior B Ontario champions. That's going to do it for us here. I want to remind our viewers, of course, President's Cup, August 27th to September 2nd. You can catch all the action in person here at the track or JVI YouTube channel, of course. On behalf of JVI Productions, Jeremy Bailey and the OLA staff, and of course all the volunteers that make this possible, I'm Lance Wynn. We'll see you next time.